Hello everyone, today I am here to redo my original video of Mega Man 1. This is going to be interesting. Anyways, what we're going to start with is actually Bomb Man. I don't know what I started with way back whenever I did that, but we're starting with Bomb Man. I can't wait to go back to these controls of Mega Man 1 because Mega Man 1, let's just say, not the graphics, but controls are a little slippery. Like when you walk, he doesn't completely come to a stop until like a second later, so can't wait for me to accidentally lose a life because of that in the ice level. But the good thing about the ice level, there is not much area for us to lose our life from. Anyway, your bomb in level is a lot of platforming and spikes, so make sure you do not get hit by any spikes. And the only way of getting further is literally walking. I wish he would deflect the shield. Anyway, we're getting further. When you shoot those enemies that look like that, those enemies will explode. And we do not want that. As you just saw. And how they spawn is they go by what your current height is. So if I'm right here, they'll spawn way up here. Anyway, we have basically reached the end of this screen. And I think this is where the first checkpoint is. I think no matter what, you're gonna take a hit from him. Unless you would go to the left side. Anyway, we're now gonna deal with this enemy, which is gonna pretty much try to knock us into the spikes below. Do not move unless you have to. Because that enemy has knocked me into the spikes more than I like to admit. Ignore him unless you want that extra life, but you got infinite continue, so lives don't really matter as much. Sniper Joe here needs to stop using his shield so I can go to the next area. When you get to areas like this, it means the boss is coming up. Yeah, you have to grab that because that one would actually hit you. If you don't grab that ladder, well, you're gonna get hit. Now, how Bomb Man works is, what he does is he usually jumps away from you if you get too close to him. It's pretty much the easiest boss you're gonna get. But, unfortunately, he lost a life. But we were low on life anyway, so this one you don't have to worry about. It's the next screen you have to up the ladder. I'm surprised I did it twice. Usually I don't actually get that opportunity. As soon as the thing closes, he jumps. As long as you're close to him. The good thing about this game is the invincibility frames are a lot shorter than the games that come after it. But we are now done with the first boss that we're gonna do. The next boss is gonna be Guts Man. So let's get to Guts Man. Guts Man level is basically platform meaning the level, because if you don't know how to get on these little conveyor belts with a platform on them, you're gonna have a hard time getting through this level. Anyway, the first one's easy. They do not actually follow like the next ones will, so jump onto this one. And as you can see from the one below it, you have to platform to your best ability without having that thing lower you down. Now the next one, we have to time our jumps accordingly to make sure we do not lose our lives like I just did. I jumped too early there. That's probably where you'll lose most of your lives from. That last one. Come on. Fine. As you can see, these things are invulnerable as long as their helmet is closed. So do your best to try to time it so you hit them before their helmet closes. Jump over this, and then jump over this. We're waiting for that next platform to come in. And now we have to make sure we don't jump too fast. And now we are done with that section. Just go past this. You don't have to face them unless you want to. But there will be a new enemy coming up, and that enemy being these, which are basically Hammer Brothers. But at least we get some at least we have a health bar for these. And there's one more left. Now when you do screen transitions in this game, it's kind of hard for you to get into little areas like this. But somehow we managed. Now, there's a fun fact about this game. No matter what you do, as long as if you're on the spike, even with invincibility frames, you automatically die. You can hug that wall as much as you want to, but it rarely ever lets you go in. And how those things jump, they won't jump randomly, so you don't know when they're gonna do that harsh jump. They take a huge chunk of your health away if you get hit by them. Now, why did I decide to go through this boss first? Because he's weak to Bomb Man. The only issue is hitting him with Bomb Man. As you can see, he jumps away sometimes. Not only that, but if you know about this game, you know there's a glitch where I can cause the game to act like it's paused, but it's not. I am not gonna use that glitch this time. I'm gonna beat every boss, even that one wonderful boss that we're gonna have to deal with later on. Anyway, next, Gutsman. One that's weak to Gutsman. After that is Cutman. Usually people do Cutman first, but not this guy. Not this time. And the only time you can use Gutsman's moves is if there's a boulder like this. If there's no boulders like that, well, you can't use his moves, so it has limited use because not every level has these boulders like this. With that being said, let's continue on. Get this, don't take a hit, but still end up taking a hit anyway. Try your best to get as far as you can. I don't think there's any health replenishment without defeating enemies in this level. Continue on. I like how in this is the only game with where everything looks different. Like, you know how the weapon replenishments and stuff look different. This is the only game that they look like this. Every other game it looks like the style that they did in Mega Man 2. Anyway. And this is the only game in the classic series where there's points. I guess after this game, they said points don't matter. It's not like you're getting extra lives because of points. Are they wrong? I love how I only hit 2, but that's fine. Continuing on. Trying to avoid taking a hit, but end up taking a hit anyway. Jump over it. There's no way to defeat him without actually shooting him, because that block boulder is right here. Jump up here. And we're gonna do this wonderful ladder glitch that I didn't know about until not recent, but a few years ago. And how you do it? Well, for some reason they programmed it so if you spawn in from the top row and then you press up front before the ladder. For some reason, you can clip and make yourself go way down there. Like, if you see that ladder down there, if I jump up here off screen, I can, yeah, do that. Weird. It's weird how they program this game to do that, but that's something you can try to do. We are at the end of Cutman's level. We only got one life left, so I like how we have to actually spare using some weapons. Of course, you spawn up there. Alright, Gutsman's move. There's only 2 chances we got to hit him. We technically don't need this because he's actually somewhat takes somewhat a decent amount of damage from the Mega Buster, but we're not gonna worry about that. Now, who is Cutman's? Who has Cut? Who is weak to Cutman? Elec Man. And there's something from Elec Man we have to get anyway, so. Good. And as you can see, the Cutman move gives us this rolling cutter, which is like a boomerang. As long as we use it, we will be able to take care of those enemies. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to deal with those enemies. What I'm going to do is go through this spot right here instead of the normal jump. Now, as we climb this ladder, there's going to be something that spawns in. We have to time our shots so they don't hit us. Continue up. They spawn on this screen as well, so do your best to not get hit by them. I love how I jump and get them as soon as I can. It's the first time you'll see invisible blocks. And now we wait, because there's some more invisible blocks coming up. And I think that's the last time you see invisible blocks in this level. Everything else is platforming the level. Do not accidentally fall into the hole, considering the fact that our controls are a little bit slippery. Now between these 2 paths, the easier path is going to the right side. But I would advise eventually going to the left side for one reason and one reason only. Because it's a little bit harder to actually maneuver yourself on this side, so I would advise going there now. Oh, I'm thinking of somewhere further. Now, the reason why you need Gutsman move or Elec Man's move, so you can get this. That is the magnet beam. Without the magnet beam, you cannot beat this game. Unless there's some glitches I don't know about. Considering the fact that this game came out in 1987. Probably is. Who knows? We wait for these, and as you can see, if we went to the right path, we would need Gutsman's move just to be able to get further, so we would have to climb right back down. Climb, stop. Jump on this, and now we are on the last screen, second to last screen before we get to the boss, or third to last screen. Don't take a hit. It's like just like that screen that we had earlier. Now we just time our jumps. And we're on the last screen before the boss area. I like how you did 3 large hops. That helped a lot. Now, what we have to do next is climb a ladder and time when we climb, because these will attack us. Gotta do one more screen of this. And and then we're done. Now, this boss has one of the most broken moves in the game. As you can see how much damage he did to us. With that being said, use rolling cutter so you can minimize him trying to hit you. The next boss we're doing is Iceman. Iceman is weak to Elecman. Remember those invisible reappearing blocks? There'll be a section of them coming up in this level, so be wary of them when you get there. I think it's the first set or right after this screen right here. As soon as we go down. This is the first instance of water. Which is fine. That thing just shot off screen. Wow. Now the only thing about it is when you grab any power up that is not those point things, what happens is he stops, as you saw many times. Now here's the one that's very frustrating because it can still cause that enemy down there to spawn back in. I love how they freaking try to put a block right above your head. Now, since we got Magnet Beam, we don't really have to do this section, so... But as you can see, one thing that sucks about Mega Man in this game, he falls like a rock if he suddenly loses his platform. Can we get this life? Nope. But we can get this, because it's a big enough hole for us to fit in. The next thing we're gonna do is get this equipped. I love how most of these areas have one of these enemies. And that's the only thing defending the boss. Let's see if I can try to... Yep, I can get it. It's funny seeing him walk in from the wrong way. Now those are basically those bombs we saw from Bomb Man stage, but as you can see, they do not explode. So they're a different version. To dodge his moves, you have to time when you jump. Or as I'm doing, just to beat him fast enough where it doesn't matter. But those projectiles can still hit you even if he's defeated. So make sure if you're low on HP, do not take a hit. And last but not least, we're facing the hardest boss out of all three. All six. Yeah, this is the hardest boss. His weakness is Iceman, which is ironic considering the fact that fire and ice. Yeah. I don't know if you can say he has the hardest stage. There's no reappearing blocks in this stage. But there are these fire pillar things that show up. And those enemies that come from the lava that goes up, or magma if you want to call it that. But the good thing is, since we have Iceman's move, we can freeze these. Only issue is that requires the right timing. Anyway, let's go down here. What's funny is there's a platform right there. You would think there would be a bottomless pit there, but there is not. That's fine. Use those, man. No. Too many pixels causing the sprites to flicker. Love it. Don't take a hit right before you get to the ladder. Now you see that thing to the right? Next screen we're gonna have to deal with that. And it's kinda hard to deal with that. So if you have the magnet beam, all you gotta do is fire one right here and you can ignore that whole entire part. And these are just like the ones in Bomb Man stage. I don't think you can jump over this. Always try. It can kill you with that lava. Never knew that. I guess because it thinks you're on the bottom screen. They think that you're down there. I've never seen that kill me. So the fact that it did surprised me. I was trying to figure out if you could do that, but I guess you can't. Anyway, we're about to beat this boss. As long as we get to the end. Fireman stage is nearly a lot of lava and dodging things. I'm on Magnet Beam, I don't need you. Get rid of these things. I like how I defeated that enemy because of the fact that it was on. I thought the thing was on the left side of the screen, even though it was on the right side. Love that. And there's no big thing blocking this door, so continue on. One thing that sucks about Fireman is he likes to shoot the heck out of you every time you hit him. So I have to do this without taking too many hits. I can't just spam things. I think he takes 4 hits. I think he takes 4 from 1 hit, so it's gonna be fun. I was wrong. But now, we're nearing the end of this game. All we have to do now is go to the final area. If there's a noise that you don't want to hear, I won't let you force you to hear that. Alright. Yay. I love that. That part is 50-50 chance where they decide to jump up or not. I forgot I had Iceman's moves, so not my brightest moment. Love that. And that means we're going through this screen without basically taking a hit. Great. Anyway, use this if you want to. I hate this jump that we have to make to get here. But that fire can hit us. It's a weird jump. Game over. Game over because of the fact that these things aren't like how they are in a different game. Just enough to not be able to get hit. That's good. What about the next one? Same thing here. I thought I was gonna be a little bit too late. Of course you do the jump perfectly for the first two ones. I think they do 10 damage on you no matter what, though. Did you just throw an imaginary block? I think that's what they want you to do, but I never tried to use magnet beam there. I like how there's a health replenishment right there for all the BS, but will you make it? Probably not. Oh, I actually got it. Wow. Okay. Only issue is these things. And as you get further in here, you have to go up there if you want them, but see how crazy it's looking up there? You can take care of that with this. And it also costs you magnet beam to get up there too. So do this. Magnet beam, leave it right here. I think they'll respawn. They do respawn. Now let's use Guts Man's move. I wish you could climb in to grab that. Now this screen can be somewhat weird to get through. Because of this enemy that's coming straight towards you. I think he off-screens himself no matter what if he's up there. What I'm gonna do is try to manipulate his AI so he can up. There. He's not much of a threat, but he's still gonna hit us. Now what I advise you do, climb slowly. Now go. That's why I tell you to jump instead of walk off, because he falls like a rock if you jump off, fall off. I guess that's where his nickname came from. I know where his real nickname came from. For the rock and roll reference to music. So yeah, when you get to a newer platform, make sure you jump. Do not fall. Do not just walk off, because you see how fast he falls. And now we're gonna use magnet beam. Oh, those things respawn, I guess, in case you run out of this. Good thing is, this area right here is the last checkpoint of this level. Now, remember when I said we have a wonderful boss we have to deal with? This is the boss. Now, as long as you memorize the pattern, you'll be fine. It's been a while since I did it, so the fact that I did that, I think you only get one shot in. When I take a hit, I just go ahead and go to the right. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 2. Got to jump there. That's me. 1 out. 2. That one hit me because I was too far to the right. I'm gonna say too far to the left. His main weakness is literally this. Imagine doing this with the actual regular weapon. What I would advise you is make sure you hug the right wall on his first turn. Make it a lot easier on yourself so you have some leeway, even though I still take hits. Twice. 1, 2, 3. The fourth one's when you have to do that big jump. 1, 2. There. There's one more, 2 more you have to deal with. Gotta do a little hop on that second to last one. 1. I said, when I take the hit, I just go ahead and just go to the left. I forgot. That's me. I rarely ever get hit by that projectile. I think he can survive with 1 HP. Even if I hit him. You won't have to see this. Right back. Alright. We're back. Let's see how this goes. 1, 2, 3. Big jump. Small jump. 1, 2, 3. Big jump. 4. Small jump there, but I did it too early. 1, 2, 3. Big jump. Small jump. There. 1, 2, 3. Big jump. 4. Fourth one is when you actually have to take the time to do the big jump, and I still get hit. But every time I get hit, like I said, just look where he was. I love how his projectile still ended up hitting me. Love that. It's usually that one with the 2 that comes out. That's the one that always usually hits me. Good job. Even with 1 sliver of health. That was my first attempt since y'all seen anything. That went well. Very well. Next level. Oh, we're on this part. Okay. Let's see. Of that. There's no way to save me, so. The only thing we can do there is just fall. Like I said, he stops no matter what he touches. As long as it's not the little point ball thing. You don't stop for that. You can jump and get these if you want one. Because there's a hole right here. You need it. Alright, your weakness is super arm, but there's no pillars for me to grab, so we're just gonna use this. And even if you try to hit him with Elegman's move, he will cut it in half. Once you defeat him, you can go through the 4 to the left. I thought I made that jump a little too early. Okay. I'll use Elegman's move whenever it's something below me. Is there anything over there? Yes. Way to jump a little too soon. You're weak to Rolling Cutter, which is ironic since the boss before you was literally Cut Man. And as you just saw, when he threw his electric move, he got cut. Kinda hard for me to dodge these. And I love how I dodged that one. I think there's an extra line from this one of these screens. I like how he's climbing in midair. Do I got any more line? Yes. I asked so I don't have to redo all of this all over again. I don't know why they put those spikes over there if there's nothing over there for you to get. For this. And are we at the boss yet? No. I think it's one more screen. Too bad our HP is not in the best of shape. I think he's next. So, how this boss works is when you shoot, that's when he attacks. He's copy robot. How you do this, boss? Well, get Gutsman's move. He's gonna copy your move everything you switch to. You're gonna be switching a lot. This one and this one a lot. You know what I mean, a lot. So, thing is, he does not. Hit you as long as you switch. Thing is, it's kind of hard to get him to stay away from you. He's trying to go towards you. Trying to get him to jump to the right instead. There. No. Jump to the right, not the left. No, left. I meant to say right. Only time he can touch you is if he jumps into you. As long as I don't press it at the wrong time, he cannot hit me over here. Gotta love programming. So yeah, this is just gonna be a standstill until I get him to the right. Every time, you know, when I press the button, whenever he jumps, that's when he jumps. When you press a button, I'm gonna say the shooting button, he doesn't do that if you jump. Come on, go to the right. You are literally... Thank you. I'm doing this to see if I can dodge that. I guess not. He usually jump shoots. That's why I was like, what? As you just saw, he can't touch us without him jumping into us. So as long as I don't do that at the wrong time, he can't run into me. To be fair, I didn't have a full set of health either, so... Well, Fireman. Well, actually, we start with Fireman. I'm gonna start with Fireman. No matter what, you get through this screen transition, you have to wait. Love it. And that's why you start with Gutsman, because he can't shoot without... Can't shoot you with Gutsman's move. Makes you wonder how they didn't know that you could literally do this. Go to the right side, quit hugging the left. Okay. Love that. Love this. Not jump over here. I don't know how RNG based it is for him to go to the right. I wish I did know. When he gets to a certain spot on the screen, that's when he usually just turns to the other side. I don't know how I got dodged that. Alright. I had such a small window to dodge that. Okay. I like how I almost jumped into that. He didn't shoot none of those times whenever I shot. Wow. I know this is cheap, but it's better than using the actual glitch. There. I would say he's harder than the Yellow Devil as long as you know how to. If you don't do that exploit, imagine facing them heads on. All right, now we're in the last part of the area before you face the boss, the main boss, I think. We're out of fire, man, so... The good thing is this level is very short. I mean, beyond short. Like, how did they program this level to be this short? We're literally at the end already. Only thing we can do now is just go right, and then there'll be some water that rushes in to speed this process up. Just shoot your projectiles as you go. They're 100% gonna hit them. After a while, they'll start spawning in the ones that blow up. So at that point, you have to back up some. I think you do. I'm not sure. Most of the time they end up hitting me, but the fact that they're not, there it is. There it is. I think my invisibility frame saved me there. I think I have to take care of this guy 4 times first, and then I can use those rocks in the middle. His weakness is literally these. I guess it doesn't mind as to how, Alright, where is it? There it is. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's the fastest way to take care of them. Alright, I think this is where we get the Yashiki. Where we get all our stuff replenished, but that don't matter now since we lost the life. I love how those things spawn in even though you're not even climbing a ladder yet. Well, I don't need to grab the Yashiki now. Because everything's replenished. And Gustman's move don't really matters. Is there a possible way to bring this to any screen, actually? Or do you have to throw this? I'm curious. No. Of course, there's a freaking ladder. Of course, you can't bring it further. Alright, how this works is literally you have to wait for this to come from the right. Just for you to use it. How did I mistime that? One, 2, 3. I think the item showed up and it pretty much breezed to the right side of the screen. That's funny. Guess that's the only one that can hit you to one string that goes downward and upward. Alright. Guess we're using Magnet Beam because other than this area, there's no more areas to really use it. And that thing right there, the red thing, that's a Yashiki. And now we're gonna face the rest of the bosses. They don't heal your health like the later games. I love how Bomb Man takes a normal amount of HP when you use his weakness. One of the few mons that actually do that. You're fireman, so you're weak to ice. I don't get how they did that. And as you can see, he just beat the crap out of me. Of course he did. But the good thing is you start back in Bomb Man. Is this the first time where you actually restart inside of a boss's arena? I say, is it the only one out of all the games I should be saying where you start back in the same arena in the boss's arena? Because that means if you walked away from the game, guess what? You can't. Oh. Well, Iceman's last. Can't wait. Get out of here before you can take a hit. And your guts, man, so... it's kind of hard to darn dodge those things when he's makes the screen shake. Alright, be right back. Alright, time to do this mess again. I found it funny that he was hugging the heck out of where we were. Okay. Well, this is gonna be interesting. Very interesting. Good thing is we can pretty much beat this boss without taking a hit as long as we jump. But no matter what, we have to redo this fight first. I didn't take a hit that time. Good. That don't mean nothing though, cause he's gonna beat the crap out of me. Is it 2 every time? To be fair, I never try to learn his pattern. So blame me on that one. Thing is, I can't switch moves until that last sparkle where he died is gone. Make that make sense. I think the sprite flickering pretty much saved me from getting hit there. Like I said, this is fair. Can't really move. I think we're done. Alright. Next area. Wait, does that big thing show up in this screen? Nope. And I have to do this with 1 life. Of course I do. I think it's weak to fire first. Then Alec Man. Or was it Rolling Cutter? I have to get there with one. I have to get up there before I ever take any deaths, so be right back. I like how I got that literally my first attempt. As you can see, I still have the same amount of lives. But I don't have full health. So I'm just gonna walk in there and take a hit and reset. I love how that respawns. Anyway. Yeah, that's the fastest way to take care of them. Fire move don't do anything to you. I don't think Element does. Oh, it does. It hits him multiple times, but it does 1 damage. That's why they recommend this. I hope you don't mind sprite flickering though. I barely got hit. Now that I think about it. That's it. And that's the end of this game. Now we just wait for the credits to get done rolling. Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and has restored the world to peace. However, the never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces are defeated. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace. Alright, with that being said, that's the end of this game. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Goodbye, and most of all, take care. If you press start, you can restart the game all over again. So, with that, goodbye. Most of all, take care and be safe.